Hello everyone, we're at the end of March 2026, and it's time to take a look at the best new indie games you should play this month. So here are 15 best new indie games of March 2026. Well, let's get into the list. Solateria is a really solid, Souls-like Metroidvania that mixes two great ideas together. The exploration feels a lot like Hollow Knight, while the combat focuses heavily on parrying, similar to Nine Sols. At its core, this is a beautiful Metroidvania game. But what really stands out here is the story and the characters. Unlike most Souls-like games that keep the story vague, Solateria does things differently. Instead of just dropping hints, it tells a clear journey through cutscenes, lore tablets, and NPC interactions, and honestly, the characters are the highlight. The main story itself is pretty standard, but the cast of NPCs brings so much life and emotion into this world. They really make the whole adventure feel meaningful. In Deadline Delivery, you're thrown straight into chaos. You play as Carl, a monkey mailman who's really bad at being on time. And now, your boss has had enough. So what's the punishment? Your delivery truck is rigged with explosives, and the timer is already ticking. No pressure, right? Your goal is simple. Deliver the mail across 18 unique maps before time runs out, or you blow up trying. Along the way, you'll dodge obstacles, pull off crazy flips, and try to keep your speed without spinning out. And it's not just solo. You can play with up to 8 players, either with friends or online. Whispers of the Eyeless is a turn-based auto-battler game. This game takes a lot of inspiration from Darkest Dungeon, but with a really cool twist. Instead of protecting a town, you're building a cult to destroy one. The gameplay loop will feel very familiar. You build up your base, go out on runs, fight enemies using HP and stress systems, and constantly decide, do you keep pushing forward for more loot, or play it safe and survive? Honestly, it shares so much DNA with Darkest Dungeon that it's hard not to compare the two, but even with that, it still stands strong as its own experience. Bombun takes the classic vibe of Bomberman Hero and blends it with modern indie speedrun platformers. You've got bomb-based movement, simple blocky level design, and a soundtrack that honestly feels incredible. Even the visuals looks like a PS1 game, but polished up like it's running on a Dreamcast. It's pure nostalgia, done right. But the gameplay is where it really shines. The levels are more open and flexible, letting you use your full moveset in creative ways. The more you play, the better you get, and if you're into speedrunning, this game has a really high skill ceiling. RUBATO is a weird, funny, and surprisingly amazing game. It's a 2D physics-based collectathon, and yeah, it's about a frog. At its core, the gameplay is tight and creative. You'll go through all kinds of unique stages, each with its own gimmick that keeps things fresh and fun, but what really makes this game stand out is the writing. The dialogue here is honestly hilarious. Some of the funniest I've seen in a game. And it's not just in cutscenes. The jokes are everywhere. NPCs, item descriptions, random moments during gameplay, there's always something that makes you smile. In Skeleseller, you play as a skeleton shopkeeper. You'll hire other adventurers to go on an adventure for you. Your job is simple. Send adventurers into battle, collect the loot they bring back, and then sell, sell, sell. Use that gold to upgrade your town, make your adventurers stronger, and grow your little business. The gameplay is a really fun mix of auto-battler, clicker RPG, and a bit of shop management. Now, it looks like an idle game, but honestly, it's not. You can finish the whole game in under 6 hours, which actually makes it feel focused and well-paced. Timber Rush starts off super simple, you just chop a tree. But don't be fooled, this game gets addictive really quickly. At first, it's very basic. You swing your axe, collect logs, and spend them on small upgrades. Everything feels slow and manual, like every click really counts. But the more you play, the more it evolves. You start unlocking automation and passive bonuses, and suddenly the game begins to run on its own. What was once slow turns into something fast, chaotic, with resources exploding everywhere. And that sense of progression, it feels incredibly satisfying. The Scourge is a first-person horror puzzle game set in 1990s Saigon, Vietnam, and right away, it pulls you into a dark, emotional story. You play as someone haunted by their past. After going through tragedy and despair, your mind starts to break and nightmares begin to take over. In these dreams, reality and illusion blur together. You're never quite sure what's real and what isn't. To escape, you'll need to face your past, fix your mistakes, and confront something truly terrifying, a supernatural force that exists both in your mind and in the real world. Heroes of Science and Fiction is a classic-style indie strategy game set in space. You'll explore strange planets, gather resources, and build up your cities with advanced technology. If you're a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, you're probably going to enjoy Heroes of Science and Fiction. The core gameplay is very familiar, exploring maps, building armies, and fighting in turn-based battles, but it also adds new ideas to keep things fresh and interesting. As for the combat, it feels great, just like you'd expect, and the maps just look so beautiful. Tangy TD is a simple tower defense game, but it's done really well. You play as a witch, placing different class-based towers to stop waves of enemies. But here's where it gets interesting. You can equip your towers with items, combine them, and create some really powerful builds. We're talking crazy damage and tons of customization. There's also a deep stat system and a big skill tree, so you can shape your playstyle however you want. Overall, this is a great tower defense game that knows exactly what it wants to be, and it absolutely delivers. Scritchy Scratchy is a simple game. You scratch cards. That's it. But every scratch could give you big rewards or nothing at all. In this game, luck is everything. As you play, you will unlock upgrades that improve your luck, increase payouts, and give you access to new types of cards. Eventually, you even unlock the Scratch Bot, which scratches cards for you automatically. Now your game basically runs itself and your money just keeps going up. What makes this game interesting is the risk. You can play it safe with steady rewards, or go for risky cards with huge payouts. Every choice feels simple, but still important. Dragonkin the Banished is an ARPG with some fresh ideas and a different take on progression. Like most games in the genre, the goal is simple. You're here to take down powerful enemies, and this time it's all about hunting dragons. When it comes to combat, the game feels solid. It sits somewhere between heavy and chaotic, and it's satisfying to jump into a group of enemies and start chaining attacks together. It's not as flashy as Diablo with huge loot explosions, but it still feels rewarding enough to keep going. And like I said before, where the game really tries to do something different is with its progression system. Instead of a traditional skill tree, it uses something called the Ancestral Grid. It works like a puzzle where you slot in abilities and bonuses, and if you connect them properly, they become stronger.
Active skills and modifiers. You are the master of difficulty and rewards.
If you've played the first GRIME, then you already know what kind of experience you're getting with GRIME 2. But don't worry, this is still a standalone game. You can jump in fresh and it will still make sense. This time, the game feels bigger and more ambitious. There are more weapons, more builds, and the best part is, almost everything feels useful. And just like the first game, the combat is all about timing. You need to learn enemy patterns, know when to attack, when to dodge, and most importantly, when to parry. It feels really satisfying when everything comes together. Poker Night at the Inventory is finally back, and honestly, it's a really nice surprise. This game first came out back in 2010, but it disappeared from stores years later after licensing issues. Because of that, it became super rare. People were even selling keys for crazy prices. So seeing it return in 2026, fully remastered, feels like a big win. Visually, the game looks great. The remaster improves the graphics, and the animations make the characters feel alive. The atmosphere is also really strong, with a chill, jazzy soundtrack playing in the background.
I want it all.
Call him, raise him, tear his kneecaps out. Not in that order.
Whoa!
Slay the Spire 2 is exactly what a sequel should be. It takes everything great from the first Slay the Spire and makes it even better. The card combos feel deeper and more interesting. You have more ways to defend yourself, more ways to deal huge damage, and more ways to build some really clever strategies. Of course, the game can be challenging. There will be moments where it feels frustrating, especially when a run doesn't go your way. But if you keep going, you start to learn enemy patterns, improve your deck, and eventually turn those losses into wins. That's where the game really shines. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more new exciting Metroidvania games. That's it, and see you next time.